But Yashuko is kidnapped in the brawl.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like...
protectively kidnapped by M, not M, by Moneypenny.
Moneypenny
just fucking grabs her, which is cool, puts her in a hotel room, and then she gets kidnapped again, because this woman loves getting kidnapped. Mm-hmm. And she gets kidnapped by budget Rosa Klebb because
another fucking Lavender Menace character.
Lotte Lenya, who played Rosa Klebb, clearly just told them where to stick it. And so what they got was like a woman who looks a bit like her.
Also called Lotta.
Yeah, whose vibe was like, clearly the direction she got was like, aggressive lesbian. And like in a more pornographic way than Rosa Klebb. So there's this excruciatingly long sequence where she disguises herself as a nun.
Oh.
Gasses this woman unconscious. Tries to break into the room. The bodyguard watching the room stops her. She kills him with a ballistic knife.
Mm-hmm. It's like a knife and you press a button and it fires out.
It shoots out of the handle and stabs him.
This will be important later.
Yeah. And then, this goes on for, 5 minutes. There's a solid, second-by-second shot of her, zip-lining this woman down into a waiting ambulance for no reason.
It's a cool idea, but somehow no one notices them, wrap up a body and lower it on a zip line down into an ambulance, because there's just no one else in the hospital or walking by, apparently.
This was one of the points where I started to get, earnestly quite angry at how close it came to being funny. But, this scene, they're dressed as villains. They're dressed as nurses. They zipline this woman out of a hospital. And, that as a concept and as a visual is insanely good, but it completely overstays its welcome.
Mm-hmm.
It's well, there you go.
And we get the really excruciating scene where we see M, Bernard Lee, and we see Moneypenny. And being held against their will and forced to do this scene where they're like, well, you're our best agent's brother, Dr. Neil Connery, who is also a surgeon and also a hypnotist and also an archer. We are coercing you into working for us to solve this mystery.
Yeah, because I think the idea is that Ward, the guy who got blown up, he told Miss Yakusho something very secret and hypnotized her so that she would forget it. And now they want to know the secret. And now the only person who can get the information out of her brain is the master. I mean, is Neil Connery. So they need him.
Used a technique.
But he doesn't want to do it.
It's very funny because if you think about it, this is the exact same plot as Johnny Mnemonic.
It is.
The secret information is held in Yashuko's brain. And she's just a courier for it. She doesn't even know she has it, but he has to decode it. In fact, I have the drop where he explains, again, at excruciating length, right?
Ward had learned a special yogi technique, quite complicated, but very effective. Briefly, it's very possible to communicate any data to a subject in a state of hypnosis of total recall. The subject himself doesn't know he knows, but he would be able to repeat verbatim if he was again hypnotized to the same extent.
A secret yogi technique. Fuck it. Yeah, sure.
The secret yogi technique took me the fuck out completely.
Yoga hypnotism. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, all right. He's learned a secret yogi technique. Put this information in a woman's brain.
Yeah.
Why he couldn't have written it down in code? I don't know. He put it in his girlfriend's brain. Whatever.
That's right. And we learn very quickly who's behind this.
A member of Spectre. Spectre?
No, wait, wrong thing. No, it's Thanatos.
Spectre's brother.
Yeah.
Spectre's
brother, identical
Neil
twin
Spectre.
brother, Neil Spectre.
Neil Spectre's here. Yeah, because there's this whole scene in what is it? It's an auction house, and this was another one where I got mad about how it would have been funny if they just thought, because there's this scene where Beta is speaking to M in an auction house, and it's set up they're both in the doorway, and fully half of the frame is taken up, showing what is happening through the doorway into the auction house. And it's just normal shit going on in there. Any other competent comedy film would have something fucking funny happening in the place that is taking up
like if it was
half
Naked
of
Gun,
the
there would have been
shot.
like a silly item being auctioned off or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I called it this in my notes, is that it's Naked Gun, but someone's turned the dial so far down. Like it keeps looking like someone's about to do a Naked Gun bit, but then it's just played completely seriously.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a movie of unfulfilled sight gags. And so all of the humor,
hate this shit.
all of the humor is wholly unintentional. So we see Thanatos, right? And Thanatos is led by like the fucking Professor Dent. He's Alpha.
Anthony Dawson.
Yeah, and he's talking in like this extremely like, you talk about someone being victimized by dubbing. Like the way in which he re-recorded his lines is so strangled that he sounds like, I'll just give you the drop, and Dev, you can do the fucking riff. But like, he sounds like this.
This young Scotch doctor's been getting a little bit too curious.
He's
eliminated.
He's honestly doing a fucking Palpatine voice, which is so good because it's decades
Order
before Palpatine.
66.
But he's about like, gentlemen, Operation Blackmail is drawing to a close.
Operation Blackmail!
These screens represent the 6 largest gold reserves on the planet, and your respective duties are to lure these powers into our trap.
Why
It's
did
like-
you call it Operation
Operation-
Blackmail?
Because misdirection, it
Which
seemingly
is-
does not
'cause it's
involve
funny.
any fucking blackmail.
There's no blackmail included.
This is the one joke they put in the script that actually goes off, because calling it Operation Blackmail is insanely
So
funny.
funny.
Like they fully got it there.
Yeah, and we like, it's pastiche, right? So what we have is we have the Spectre meeting scene where a guy fails them and is like punished by death.
Christ,
No,
and the method.
he's not punished by death.
No, he's punished by
They
his.
give him a gun to kill himself, and he does what you would do in that situation. He immediately turns the gun on Alpha and pulls the trigger, but it turns out it's empty. So he then sits back down in his chair and takes a drink of water, which it turns out is poisoned. And I'm like, what if he just run out? What if he just run
The entire time that he pulls the trigger, nothing happens. He sits down, he
like,
takes
well,
a drink of water. During this,
it's thirsty work. Might as well.
during that sequence, Alpha is sat literally next to him, saying shit like, "You failed us. You
are
must be
fooled."
removed."
Also, the
And
water
yet he
is
still
brown.
just drinks it.
Why doesn't he just leave?
But they address it like
Throw the gun at him and run.
they address it. He dies. Fucking Beta goes, I don't know why he drank the water. I wouldn't have done that.
Really
And
does.
Alpha's like,
makes
wouldn't
sense
you?
when you
And
think
he's-
about it.
Yeah, Alpha's like, wouldn't you drink the water in his situation? And Beta goes, I wouldn't be in his situation.
Ah.
It's like, oh, ooh. Why did he drink the water?
we get another sly Bond reference at the end of this scene, which is great too. He goes,
That young Scottish doctor. You know, the brother of Secret Agent 00.
Yes, I've heard.
So good.
I'm just gonna wink at it. I'm not
They don't
gonna
even
mention.
say 00.
No, Agent 00.
Oh, fuck.